tougher. I think, would you also say the use of text to speech for make for users who would rather want to listen to the article instead of reading the whole thing, because that's like yet another form of engaging content. But of course, for say article coverage, videos would work well even if you were not. So I think one of the main reasons I've seen publishers shy away from video is because it's a very resource intensive
Yeah,
exercise. The equipment is quite expensive. Setting up a studio becomes expensive. Even editing machines, for that matter, when it comes to processing these video files, it's going to take significantly longer. And it's I think it's a challenge for most smaller publishers to push out
yeah,
video content as quickly as larger ones, because they've got a media room full of video editors who, with very capable machines, can
correct,
put out video at a faster pace. And in the publishing industry, it's all about speed. So I think at this
correct.
point, for smaller publishers, I can recommend using online video editors, using AI video editors as well to help you with those
Yeah,
smarter jobs. Especially like Swapnil also pointed out, that you can leverage social media. So think about how you can repurpose your content. So if you were to shoot an animated video as well, for example, which can be done with AI, that can be repurposed for social media posts. If
yeah,
you were to
100%.
say record a video, it can be converted into a podcast as well. So I think um, distribution is as important as production. So that is something that publishers should also focus on. Just
I,
my take on it.
no, I think 100%. It's such a critical point, and I'll tell you from my experience and my conversations. Oftentimes, people ignore the power of distribution. They'll see one channel is working for them, and they'll just start focusing on that, and
Yeah.
they'll probably consume and use that platform so much that there's probably no other thing left to do there. So,
Well,
but rather a
honestly, if
better
you
strategy
think
is to
about it,
diversify.
if you think about it, that the one channel that, while you're saying that the one channel and people do the same thing, I'm thinking of organic search and SEO. Organic search is the one channel that people have been primarily focusing on, and
Yeah,
SEO is the same thing that they've done over and over again, seeing variable results with nothing that is constant. So at this point, I think, yeah, distribution is going to help you have some mind share in your audience, so that you then slowly convert them into your direct traffic, because
exactly.
your direct traffic becomes more and more important as we grow. Because if also, like some of the examples that Swapnil pointed out, the websites that have gotten de-indexed will still get traffic from direct and organic social. Of course, search is dead for them, but direct traffic is still pretty much theirs. And social traffic, well, till the time social media platforms don't have uh, their algorithm updates, which
Yeah.
impacts these guys. And I think that also, there's one follow-up question there, is there's nothing happening on social media with respect to AI content and algorithm updates, or is it still clear that you can generate AI content on social?
Uh, Social algorithms are still nascent on that, I think. But yeah,
Hmm.
their focus has been on making sure they are not pushing out spam results, something that is misleading. So there are a lot of efforts being taken on that. But yeah, AI content is bad is not the stand that social media platforms are taking. So that's one clear learning. But I'll just go back to our
Hmm.
discussion here, and
Yeah.
very interesting point that you pointed out about direct traffic. Okay,
Yes.
and what we are also seeing while analyzing our set of websites and within our industry is that websites that have branded traffic, the chances of them receiving negative impact in search is extremely low.
Why
So
is that so?
because the primary, see, what Google tells us is create content for readers, for your users.
Yeah.
And when people are coming to your website directly, or there are branded searches happening for your brand, that's an indication for Google that okay, this website is known within that community, people feel that they can trust this website or this brand, which is why Google also puts some level of trust in terms of how they are showcasing that website in organic search.
Interesting. So I think I would give this as a tip to niche publishers, primarily who are catering to a particular segment. Say if it's sports or entertainment or if it's finance as well. I think building that authority, becoming important to your audience, and
Yep,
bringing in direct traffic becomes more important. For Google to not mess with you when it comes to organic traffic.
100%, 100%.
But interesting. So, apart from this, I think SEO has been done and dusted. Your point on having quality over quantity, I think, is something that smaller publishers can definitely focus on, because larger publishers will always be capable of pushing out a lot of numbers in terms of articles. But for smaller publishers, it is crucial to decide what article is going to have impact. Doing a trend analysis on what is an upward trend, because larger publishers have the liberty to do everything. Like, they're capable of throwing everything at the wall, and whatever sticks well works for them. But for smaller
Yep,
publishers, you'll need to put in that accuracy, and that only comes when the editorial team sits and evaluates what is more
exactly.
likely to get traffic, instead of blindly following what other publishers are doing. And it's also slightly counterintuitive, because if everyone is going to do the same thing, you're going to start chasing, or you'd rather competing for ranking for the same thing, and that becomes harder. So
Exactly.
probably researching on what other alternatives people are looking for, like people also asked for, or even when it comes to breaking news, for example,
Yeah.
monitoring what questions are being raised on social media. I think that is something that is not being used as much, because a lot of it is primarily focused on just giving what publishers know. Say, for example, if it's a news publication that is
Yeah.
leaking, that is breaking news, they would basically, their primary focus has would be delivering on what is known by them about the event to the audience,
Yeah.
not really focusing on what the audience wants to know, if there is a backstory to it, or what are the causes for certain actions to be taken. So I think that is something that also smaller publishers can look at and focus on, and especially regional publishers. This is a big advantage for regional publishers, because the larger publications do take time when it comes to regional content, especially when it comes to breaking news.
Yeah.
The hyper local publishers have the biggest advantage here, in order to get those questions, because they're familiar with the area that they're operating in, and what
Correct.
kind of the history has been around a particular event that is happening. So I think, yeah, that's something that I would want to add there as well for you guys.
I think that's an excellent tip actually, because see, everyone, what we should go back, what we should do actually is go back to the drawing board and see what what separates us from the bigger players, and
Yeah.
that's our reach, our audience, what we know within the industry. That all, and our speed of execution, right? I mean,
Mhm.
we don't have n number of resources, but the level of bureaucracy is also extremely low with us.
Yeah.
So that's the power, that you can always be on your footsteps and understand,
Yeah.
analyze all of this data from social media, from conversations happening around you, and then take all of those insights and make a more richer, more informed content piece that helps educate
Mhm.
your reader, plus at the same time offers a unique enough perspective and helps you thrive with every organic update that comes over time.
Got it. So Swapnil, we want to start wrapping up this particular episode, but before we leave, I would want to ask you one tip for a big publisher and a small publisher with respect to core updates and their content plan as well. What
Yeah.
tip would
So
you have for them?
one would be keep your focus on quality, whatever level of publisher you are. Uh, for bigger publishers, it might seem that you don't always have to spend as much in terms of quality, because at this point you are getting the benefit from Google. But you never know how times would change.
Mm.
Six about a like I think around September was when the helpful content rolled out last year.
Yes.
Uh, Till that point, niche publishers were on a roll. Everyone was winning, everyone was thriving. It was easy to scale up your sites in 6 to 8 months. But look where we are today, and most of the niche publishers are uh, seeing extremely bad declines. None of the publishers that were hit within the helpful content have recovered as of yet. I haven't
So
seen
that's
a single example of a publisher recovering
Mhm.
their traffic to the pre-HCU levels. And what's interesting within the industry as well is you can see Mediavine and Raptive, which was Ad Thrive previously, they have also lowered down their tiers for accepting websites. So Mediavine brought their tier to as low as 10,000 websites with 10,000 visits or more. Raptive brought that down to I think 50,000 per month, which was earlier 100,000, and Mediavine was at 50,000. So you can see the
Yeah.
how their business is also stalling because probably their existing clientele have
Yeah,
seen
it's
massive.
not capable of, yeah, they're not capable of serving the ad. So they're basically casting a wider net, allowing more
Yeah,
publishers to onboard. That's interesting.
correct.
But well, yeah, I think that is all that we had to cover with respect to the core update. And for all these publishers, I think the tip, I think that's something that remains constant through all the podcasts is do good content, and content distribution is as
Correct.
important as content creation. So that is something that we will leave you guys with. Thank you for joining
100%.
us. I hope you enjoyed this event. Yeah. Thank you so much, Swapnil, for joining us.
Yes. Thank you, Aditya. And it was a great time talking with you and the audience as well. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.